Yeah, so every Friday, it's always about what we're going to be watching over the weekend.
Or maybe what you have seen, actually, because today we're doing a review of something everybody was talking about since Monday. And if you haven't seen it, you are sleeping under a rock. Okay, let's talk about House of the Dragons, to which the producers have funnily called Hot D. Have you guys seen it? Everybody here has seen it. Everybody here has seen it. And we're excited to talk about it. But first, let's do the trailer. And then we'll start talking about it, giving you guys what we think about everything that we saw in the very first episode. So, hey, let's take it away now. Okay, a lot of us are very excited about House of the Dragons. And of course, hey, the first episode was what many people call epic. Many people, I might not want to say that that's my preference for calling it. However, we've had a fight, I and Mike, since yesterday, and it even continued just before the show. Mike doesn't want me to say what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say. Now, Mike, this is what I think. I think it's a fantastic show. However, I do think that the first episode was a bit too much for me when it comes to the dragons. I do not think that the CGI was fantastic. I think the storyline is great in trying to settle us into the entire story from before that and even after, putting the characters from inside of Game of Thrones and their, you know, their forefathers, generations before them into place and all. I value that. I like that. However, dragons are not that cheap in the market. Dragons cannot just be flying everywhere in episode 1. Why didn't they save all these dragons until maybe episode 3?
Funny enough, I actually have something very similar to say concerning that. When I saw the when I saw the trailer, that was my first observation. That's like, no, I don't want to be seeing this. Because, to be honest, I'm not saying, fine, it's House of Dragons, so it makes sense to see dragons. But then again, I'm saying for Game of Thrones, one of the things I anticipated was seeing the dragons every time because they kept them, like, it was just once in a while. Even when, I remember when she burnt down the house, and we literally waited for dragons to actually come out when the eggs were actually, it was like a lot.
I wish I'd have said something about that. It's okay, people can be watching Kali and there's no need to argue. I mean, this is not, so it's a prequel, and it's not a game this time around, right? Because
it's a war.
Yeah, in fact, they even messed up. You know why they messed up? I wish I had seen an image of Balerion. Because, I mean, this is the most, this is a dragon. This is a sibling of the dragon that gave the Westeros to the Targaryens. And I wanted to see the destruction of old Valyria. So I even think they didn't do enough.
They didn't
so
go far.
It should have started with a Balerion destroying old Valyria, and I would have expected something like that. Because look, you were told that, in fact, for the series, they are using only 10 dragons. In the book, there are 17. So they're even going slow.
So and it's 17 in the first episode.
No, it's a Targaryens in their power.
Yes, I mean, give a little breakdown into how this actually is starting. It's taking you 200 years, about 200 years before Daenerys Targaryen eventually went crazy and burnt the whole of... what was that?
How? She didn't go crazy.
She became the Mad Queen. She burnt women and children with her dragon. Yeah, but she was crazy.
She wasn't crazy. She became a Targaryen.
I'm just saying, they're giving you an insight into the war that happened that led to all the dragons disappearing. So eventually, all the dragons are going to disappear.
Exactly.
So it's the other way around. All the full dragons and they start killing them.
Yes, and the war is very important because in the end, you'll now understand why Dany, who we're very close to in our hearts, from season 8, Daenerys Targaryen, not Dany.
Go ahead. I
don't even know why she felt she had such a claim to the throne.
Okay.
That is what we're
Let's talk about the characters. First of all, I found a favorite already in episode 1, and that is Daemon Targaryen. I like his dark evilness, and also the fact that he was Doctor Who. I mean,
yeah,
who could fault that? I was looking at this actor, I was like, oh, I know who this. Wait, until Mike mentioned it. Yes, oh, that's him. But of course. Fantastic.
He was also Prince Albert in The Queen, The Crown, which is an Emmy Award-winning show. Amazing actor. So, great protagonist.
You know, something I want to talk about, inclusion. This is from Steve Toussaint, the person who plays Corlys Valerian. Yeah, he's a black actor. And you saw him with white hair. And some stupid people on social media we live in a world where stupidity is being displayed.
Shows like Benson.
They go exactly. It's easy to. It's okay for them to say black guy slaving.
Yeah.
When you say a black guy, I mean,
I never thought about that.
How he was talking in the small council.
Yeah.
You saw how he spoke.
He was relevant.
He's married. He's relevant.
Yes.
He is married to the queen that never was.
The queen that never was.
You understand? He's Rainey's husband. He comes from a very, maybe the richest family as at that point.
Yes.
And he's a black man. And so there was this social media angst. And then he had this interview and then he said, they're happy with the dragonfly. They're happy with white hair and violet-colored eyes.
Yeah.
But a rich black guy,
They're
that's
not
beyond the pale.
It's just,
So a wonderful response, and he has had so much of support on social media, and we love to see it. You know,
I wanted to just indicate, for those of you who are real Game of Thrones buffs, from season 1 of Game of Thrones, where Arya, a child Arya, is playing in the basement while her father is trying to fight for his rights as Hand of the King, she starts playing around a particular dragon skull. Now, that dragon skull is really used in this first episode, and it just brought back a lot of...
What's the name?
That's the dragon you were talking about. Valerian. So it felt like that nostalgia was there, you know. It felt like, yes, we're being brought back into Westeros. And I think it was an amazing...
I think the two most important characters, we've not spoken about them, Syrax and Caraxes.
Syrax
is the dragon of Rhaenyra.
Yeah, the gold dragon.
Yeah, Rhaenyra's dragon.
Yeah.
And Caraxes is Daemon's dragon. Now, they are two of the most skilled dragon riders.
Oh, you know what they remind me of? Ketchup and mustard.
Exactly.
Syrax and Sector.
Sector, yeah, Syrax and Sector. But this is Syrax and Caraxes. I'm looking forward to seeing the other dragon riders. But then the skill, you can see, of course, they showed a bit of Rhaenyra, how good she is with it, with riding a dragon. But the difference is that the dragons have saddles now, which is different from what we saw
from before, where they were
so
saddleless.
This one, yes, I like that because, you know, Daenerys, for her, she did not see anybody ride a dragon.
Yeah.
So she doesn't understand. But these guys are in the peak of dragon riding.
Dragon season.
Dragon season. So they're in the peak. So I'm looking forward. But you see, this is where it gets interesting. There is that love relationship between Daemon and his niece.
Did you see that? But it wasn't so in the book, however.
Yeah, it wasn't so. But
so this is the thing about adaptations and where I'm kind of like faulting House of the Dragons. I like it when an adaptation goes squarely with the book.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings was one of those. Lord of the Rings was a typical adaptation of the book. Everything was precise. But when you confuse me after, you know, I've heard or read the book, and then it's like, that's not supposed to...
But I think it's about a new experience, and I like it.
Well, but not everybody's read the book is the point.
But yeah, but then if we're looking at it, I'm looking at how the rival, I mean, you love somebody, but then you have to fight with that person. How would it play out? You know,
what kind of love, however?
The interesting.
Okay, for now.
What did you call it? The interesting love? I'd be the incestuous.
The interesting fights.
No, we know that incest.
My ears are.
Incest is not a problem with
Nigerians.
But thankfully, we haven't seen anything like that yet.
It's coming.
But for this one, I don't think he really does care for her. From the way it looks like an uncle who's caring for his niece.
Let's just give it a score out of 5 for the first episode. Don't jinx it, however. What would you do?
No, I'm not jinxing it. I think it was a very solid 4.8.
What do you think?
Very solid 4.8.
When I watch it.
Okay, you want to sit this one out?
I'm giving them a 5.
You're giving them a 5 out of 5?
5.
Yeah.
I will give them a 3.5. No. I'm anticipating.
Hey, don't walk.
Oh, no. Anyhow, listen, guys, thank you very much for listening to our review of How to Train Your Dragon. I mean,
Wow, Mazino.
House of the Dragons. Yeah, we'll be back.